to potentially win this one. How are you feeling about this?
I'm looking across these drafts and I'm very interested to see how they're going to run it through. I was expecting a bit more of a bully or a stronger laner from the side of 2T, but he's decided to link up alongside DNK, and this mid jungle duo core I think is going to be very crucial for this team's success. So I like to see them work together. I'm gonna be very interested to see that. Yeah, I'm gonna be very interested to see them working together, looking for those Destiny gates, trying to maximize DNK's potential. And on the other side, we need to see Penguin pop off on this Xin Zhao, try and get enough of a tempo lead, get things rolling to the point where DNK can't just farm up and get to AFK on this Graves and reach that late game damage potential.
And we kind of talked before this game started. DNK, obviously a big shining light for this team, so obviously having him get ahead is going to be pretty important. But as you said, on the flip side, Xin Zhao needs to have an impactful early game. If DNK is just able to do his thing early on, well, it's not a good sign for Team Secret. But we get the junglers splitting the map here. We have Graves starting on the top side, whereas Xin Zhao decided to start on the bottom of the map.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing them try and make something happen. It's a little bit rough for DNK starting on this top side because he can impact the solo lanes very effectively. Lots of CC to work with. The bot lane's a little bit harder unless you have that Gravitum in hand for Celebrity, because there's just not really that much in the way of CC. And at the early level 2 for Team Secret is good, and it's a huge chunk of damage onto Celebrity. Team Secret coming away.
A lot of trading there onto the bot lane there from Secret, and this Lulu really putting in that work. Obviously, Yuumi does give up a little bit of pressure in the early game. Yuumi really making them pay for it.
Yeah, they're trying to say, they're pretty much calling, and Palette's basically calling the bluff, saying, Shuhao, you're a recent role swap. You're not going to be good enough. That's a bit out of artifacts. Not quite enough yet to make the kill. No ignite or anything, but 2T really feeling this punishment, this R5 LeBlanc showing up good for Artifact, and we do want to see him try and regain that status as one of the best mid laners in the VCS, which he hasn't had for a while, but he did manage to get to Worlds in 2019, and he did beat Damwon, so, you know.
Big show. Yep. Well, maybe he can make his statement here today. Obviously, we'll have to see. So far, LeBlanc, though, looking pretty strong, so definitely one to keep your eyes on. Right now, though, both junglers pretty happy with finishing. They're clearly going to be moving on to the Scuttlecrats, but no ganks so far. But if you are the side of Team Secret, are you looking to play through that jinx? You know, Eddie does have a bit of a known sentiment to them that they are potentially the ones to carry.
Yeah, I would like to see a bit of attention paid to the bot lane, especially in the sort of let them safely shove towers and farm plates. You don't necessarily need to try and pick up these kills in a gank, but try and give them the pressure they require to get ahead in farm and plate gold and all that sort of thing. But as it is, it's SBTC with the roam pressure right now, and it's forcing a little bit of a CS away from Eddie. So Celebrity gonna come up with a small lead from that. Good transfer of power.
Yeah, and 4 down bot side, obviously looking to make something happen. Respect shown from Secret, though, making sure that they don't get dove. And it is going to buy a little bit of time for Artifact, obviously, to get some solo time in the lane.
Yeah, just able to pick up a bit of farm for himself. And we're going to return to this top side, where we saw a little bit of a interesting choice, trying to moving the Graves out of it. I initially thought DNK was going to bust out the classic Gragas jungle. But no, they've decided, Enpa, we really want him on this tank, we want him on this role player. Ooh. And it has, as a result, given Gwen a very free lane to just bully up and get a lot of, get a good advantage going. Bit of only a small CS lead at the moment, but,
but here comes DNK. They're going to be making this gank happen, and Gwen just gets absolutely body slammed. No way to get out. Is going to be picked up, but in the bot side now, Celebrity trying to pick up the kill, but Lulu going to turn it around with the damage. Eddie coming back in. Can they get the second? Yuumi just able to walk away. Low health bars means they're not going to get 2.
But it's only a Yuumi. What? She's
She's going back. She's going to get the solo kill onto the Lulu. Eddie trying to make it happen. Is it going to be a double kill? It will not be. Jinx is going to just about survive and pick up another kill. Eddie there taking another one to go back to base with more gold.
Oh, so close. Another Q or another auto. That could have been a double kill for the Yuumi. That's... Okay, overall, it's a win for Team Secret in the bot side. You get the 2-for-1, both kills, or a kill on to either side, a piece. You lose the first blood in the top side, but yep, you lose first blood on the top side. You get a dragon as well, so Team Secret coming out overall very far ahead. And Hero just overstepping a little bit, trying to trade on DNK in the right spot. That's slow, just doing a bit too much. And Gwen is not immune when Gragas is on top of her.
Yeah, and very aggressive play in the bot side as well. Celebrity trying to get those kills onto Eddie, but obviously turned round and then, well, we weren't expecting what we saw next, you know. Yuumi just doing a whole different level of play with the 2v1.
Yeah, you just saw Zhu Hao trying to chase in and ends up tanking an entire minion wave for ages, and that gets them low enough that it's a dicey deal. And Eddie, oh, that was very close to just the most absurd. And here's a gank onto Celebrity.
We are going to get the tower dive. Xinjiao going to be able to jump forward. The polymorph making it really difficult for the Sibelius. It's going to be one. They should be able to get the second, but here comes Twisted Fate through the Destiny. Does get the stun onto Penguin, but now in a lot of trouble here. Taking so much damage from this Jinx, but they don't have enough just yet. But the dive will continue. They're going for more, flashing out of the tower range. They'll pick up the Yuumi. They'll pick up the Twisted Fate. 3-for-0 in the bot lane. And
that juggling was beautiful from Team Secret. Zhu Hao playing it absolutely perfectly. It just means 2T teleports in and just feeds another kill over and gives another death. So starts off with a really, really simple pick. And Palat just survives a little bit longer than Team Secret was expecting. They wanted to back out away from 2T, but you saw the burst. They saw the burst coming out from Eddie and were like, "Oh, actually, we can do this. We can get this really easily." And it was just, yeah, they juggled the aggro extremely well. We saw Zhu Hao and Penguin both on very, very low health numbers, so just played it on Knife's Edge and played it extremely beautifully.
And so far, playing to their win con as well. 3-for-0 on the Jinx, already starting to snowball. Not what you want to see if you're a fan of SBTC, because, well, we talked about Eddie being a potential carry for this team, but also on Jinx, the hyper carry of the meta right now. Arcane buff is fully active.
And we're seeing SBTC just say, all right, get away from it, go to the top side, get this Rift Herald. They're going to be there first, and Team Secret, they're not going to be there to respond, and I like that Eddie's just going to hang out, going to sit there. Maybe he fires an ult up and tries to go for the rocket steal, but I think you're pretty happy to just sit there and get the free plates onto your Jinx. Already got pretty much the entire way towards their mythic item, so gonna do a lot of damage. They've already taken down 2 plates, and a third should follow very shortly. It's just a matter of, can Team Secret defend this tower? Zhu Hao's up here, but it's a little bit slow from Penguin.
Yeah, they are starting to move people over. As there's a 2v3 so far, as the said, Penguin going to be making his way there too. The Rift Herald could take a couple of plates here, but they're holding onto it for the moment. As DNK trying to maximize that value, but so far the rotations coming out from Secret are going to be enough to hold them back.
Yeah, we've seen that. We're seeing the consequences of the first Destiny gate really opening up in this mid lane. About a 30 CS, 25 CS lead for Artifact. Has done a bit of damage to this tower. Hasn't actually gotten a plate, but has managed to get themselves a very comfortable CS and experience lead. And that's LeBlanc being very happy. Hasn't really had to get out and roam so much, but definitely has that opportunity to try and, become a big side lane threat later on as it progresses. And 2T, the ultimate's coming up now, so I would like to see DNK get a bit aggressive and try and find an angle for the Twisted Fate to come down to support him and find that big pick. Here it might be with Artifact aggressing, but
he's going to make the play. The stun guard does land, but DNK just a little bit far away from Artifact. And you talked about plates. Eddie right now has picked up 4 plates on the bot lane as well. So they're trying to maybe make plays around the map, but they do have to at one point really focus on this Jinx. And I don't really see a way where they're bringing themselves back into this apart from sending 4 people bot.
Yeah, and Eddie's going for the Kraken Slayer, so trying to go all out on the damage, and might even be looking for it's a bit too early to tell with just double daggers. He could be just about anything, but gonna be a Zeal item next. That's fine with Kraken Slayer because you can crank out those true damage shots. There's gonna be a second dragon picked up for Team Secret, probably uncontested. Maybe a freak steal from a Palette Q comes out, but nope, completely uncontested. Off to a fantastic lead in the objectives. There is still the back pocket Rift Herald, but DNK just does not seem to have anywhere he can really put it. There's no pressure in any of these lanes.
Yeah, talking about pressure in lanes, Penguin is lurking on the bot side. LeBlanc potentially going to be moving as well, so Artifact might join for the 4 in the bot lane. But Celebrity, they've decided to, you know what, back away. Jinx should be able to pick up this first brick. 11 minutes 30 in the game, and once again, just snowballing this Jinx further and further through this game, which is a bit of a worrying sign. You know, it started off with a couple of kills, it's now getting more gold. But here comes the 2v1. They are trying to challenge this one, and a lot of damage from Aphelios. The final chapters are locking them down. It is going to be the pick, and that's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, greeted for that extra wave. Both his support and jungler had completely backed off. But they wanted to clear the wave. They felt safe. They felt confident, and they just... I mean, they did trade back a lot of damage, but you are in that 2v1, and missing that rocket means absolutely no way to win that fight. So, it's a lot of gold, it's a decent bit of gold back into the side of Celebrity as he picks up that shutdown, and it says that it's not all doom and gloom for SBTC, though they are still looking at that 2 to 3k gold deficit at 12 minutes.
We'll see if that can obviously grow the dragons as well. Could be something that you maybe think about. You are now on 3rd Drake if you're Team Secret. The Soul going to be mountain. Does make the game a little bit more difficult for the side of SBTC, but it's a question of, are they going to be able to contest? You know, 3k gold, it's not the greatest gold lead, but it might be enough to tip the balance into any team fight right now goes Secret's way.
Yeah, and here's the Rift Herald coming down, just timing out right here, and they've swapped up into the top side for Jinx, so hoping to farm a few more tower plates, I'm fairly sure, but Hero, he's going to have to do his best to play into this 1v2. Doing okay, but yeah, it's a bit of gold over to the side of DNK. He's going to have to sort of step up and be that damage, because as it is right now, it's just pretty much everyone on the side of SBTC falling a bit behind. Only really Enper feels ahead in terms of item breakpoints, but it's a much cheaper item to get the Chem Tank than it is for the whatever it's called, the Riftmaker.
Riftmaker, yeah. And that might also change now that they've swapped Eddie up onto the top side looking for more and more plates. Emperor being shoved back under this tower, not really going to have the best of time in farming either. It just feels like Secret have the tempo, you know, they've got the strats, they're just one step ahead and they're making it work.
Yeah, they're really far ahead right now, and now here's the counterplay from 2T.
Destiny is going to be used, 2T, taking a lot of damage though. That's going to be the first kill, and Gragas didn't have the damage to pick up Lulu. It's 2-0 there, and they're now going to get even more plays. Celebrity moving up with Palette, but they are a little bit late, and they might be in trouble themselves as Artifact's going to be going aggressive here. Will be able to get the root, but Cap on the Aphelios not going to get rooted down.
The exhaust coming in stops another kill from going over, and we're just seeing the deficit coming in from the side of SBTC. They did not have enough damage to burst out the Lulu, and it says no hope from here as Team Secret take out another tower, pick after those 2 kills. They can turn onto this Rift Herald as well to make it breaking open mid even easier, and just unable to kill the Lulu. Didn't even have the ult on her, so she didn't have that extra HP. She just did it as a backup after everything had been expended. So if you can't kill the Lulu, what hope do you have?
Yeah, it doesn't feel pretty good if you can't kill that Lulu. Obviously, Wildgrove did come through, was used, but that's going to be a spell that they have every single team fight they take, so you've always got to account for that one. Right now, they do have DNK waiting in the wings on this mid lane, but LeBlanc, notoriously difficult to gank, but has gone aggressive here. Is going to get hit with the Graviton, but not going to be locked down. They decide, you know what, she's a little bit too slippery.
There's the Rift Herald taken, and that can be an easy transfer of pressure into the mid lane for this 3rd dragon that's coming up shortly. Meanwhile, if we look across, well, we don't really have our scoreboard, so we can't really do a status check on items and see if SBTC are in that comfortable breakpoints, but there's a bit of a... There are options for SBTC to try and make something happen in terms of applying pressure into the side lanes. They have first priority. They have teleport advantages. It won't really matter right now because Team Secret are just going to beeline for this dragon as well.
A little trade there onto Jhin, obviously not the worst thing, and we are seeing a bit of a collapse now onto the mid lane. They are going to pop the final chapter. They're going to get the lockdown. The Crescent Guard going to hold back that damage. They're getting knocked into the team. There's no growth though for a big knock up. They're slowing this fight down, and Secret are now starting to mobilize. But a big collateral damage kills off Jhin. That could be a huge moment for this Drake. No smite now on the side of Secret. Although saying that, LeBlanc going aggressive onto DNK, going to take them low. But UV healing keeping them alive. Hero stepping forward as well. 2T is separated from the pack. Is he going to go down to the needlework? He will just about survive, and so far a 1-for-0 after a lot of action.
It is the jungler, and it is the Rift Herald gone as well, so not really a lot of pressure from the side of Team Secret. They just have to sort of... So their next play is either to just sort of hang around and try and scare off SBTC. And it looks like they've managed to do enough. DNK is heading towards this top side, and they're just seeding this dragon over. That's sole point. Seems like you could have stuck around and tried to muscle in with your numbers, but yeah, we see here in the bot side, looking on the map, Artifact and Hero are just so far away. They don't have teleports or anything to join in, and SBTC realize this and just jump on the 3 instantly. They pick up Penguin, that's massive, it's the smite, so that makes Team Secret a little bit more cautious. Unfortunately, for them, Team Secret has a very big gold lead and can just run at you and do a lot of damage. And that turns you off the dragon and takes it for themselves. So, although it's a good play by SBTC, Team Secret had that buffer to just clap back immediately.
Yeah, we talked about 3k gold lead 12 minutes in. They're now sitting at a 5k gold lead. As we can see, the items as well stacking up for the side of Team Secret. We talked about DNK getting ahead. Is that still the win condition? 101. Not really been able to really sink their teeth into this game. But is that really their shining hope?
It kind of is. It's either that or Celebrity, who, he's definitely very far behind his counterpart, but can still, if they are able to hold on, can still reach that hypercarry status with a Yuumi on his back. It's gonna be a little bit hard though, because you have to reach that status, and Eddie's gonna hit that well before you, and with the Putrefy coming out from Zhuhao very shortly, Yuumi isn't really going to be able to save you quite as effectively as you'd hope. Neither is the lifesteal from like a Severum or anything like that, so...
And then potential from the Soul, the Mountain Soul as well, obviously going to make that job even more difficult if your ADC, the other hypercarry, has a shield for free. So definitely going to be a big moment in 3 minutes when that Soul does come up. But do you see it kind of as a do or die for SBTC there? They have to kind of fight the Drake. If they lose this Soul, maybe they start losing game.
A little bit, especially because Celebrity has gone for the center option and built the Dirk, which has already been immediately nullified by the fact that Mountain Rift exists. And they've picked up a Drake, so good job. Your item.
So Rift Herald has been dropped here. They are going to be able to get the tier 2 in the mid lane, who we maybe see a fight after. SBTC going to walk back, just respect the potential from Secret. And so we do see Emperor on the side getting a little bit of poke damage, but it's not going to be anything too serious.
He's going for the tank build, so his barrels are just going to be there to harass and sort of slow down rather than be any real threat. And here's him again.
Well, here we go. Gwen going to be jumping in with the Jhin Shao. They get Emperor pretty low. Hasn't gone down just yet, but he will finally fall. And that is going to be a quick pick for them. They are able to just walk away from this, though. But once again, Secret just finding those small advantages and building this lead now up to 6k.
Yeah, and here they can get an easy reset and head straight towards the Baron Pit to set up good vision, try and make this side lane pressure, especially on the top side, to the point where, you know, SBTC has to respond, has to try and walk into you and fight you, and they're so far down they don't want to fight. And let's see what happens here. It's just a bit of a flank. It's a good body slam from Enper, but Hero just does not take any damage. He's just able to run him down easily. Artifact to finish it off.
And it's just a lot of damage. You know, Gwen has become more and more popular. We've seen it jungle, we've seen it top. It's just looking strong. They are ahead. They have the Riftmaker as well. It doesn't really seem like they have the answer for it just yet, but it also seemed like SBTC were kind of on 2 pages. You know, some people looked like they were ready to fight. Some people were like, "Nah, we're getting out of it."
Yeah, I don't think they really wanted to fight. I think Enpo was fairly happy to be the sacrifice with the and just maybe tried to go for an opportunity barrel and knock them in, but damage is just too much and just underestimated the amount that could be done. And so it just ends up going down. It's a small pick. In the end, it's not really anything massive, as there wasn't an objective that they could really punish and force off the 4v5. But now Baron is up. Now objectives are real. There's an Infinity Edge on Eddie, so he will churn through that Baron and anyone else who comes near him. But it's 30 seconds to the Dragon Soul, and that's a much more important objective for the side of Team Secret.
Yeah, Dragon Soul, as we've talked about a little bit already, is feeling like it's kind of the last few nails in the coffin. They're already so far ahead. The extra shield is just, well, I don't even know what that would be, monetary value, but it's going to be a lot. It's definitely going to make the game a lot harder. And do you see this kind of as almost like a go next for SBTC, or are there ways that they can bring it back? You know, maybe they trade for a Baron maybe here, or look for some crazy picks?
Well, considering the fact they're just conceding the Drake, I feel a little bit go next, or they're looking to try and play a game pretty much purely based around outsmarting the other team, and maybe try and go for big macro plays, go for these picks with the Destiny Gate, with the teleport advantages that they have. But on one side, they get an outer tower. On the inside, on the bottom side, they're just completely getting shoved in by Hero. And now that there's no Dragon to worry about for another 5 minutes, it's all Baron all the time for Team Secret, and they could just take it pretty much at their leisure as long as they have vision on DNK. If they ever spot him going to the bot side, it's basically just go time, I think.
Maybe SBTC. Maybe they're looking to flip the Elder. You know, it's a legitimate strategy, but definitely a risky one. Bringing it onto the map a little bit earlier, maybe it's 400 IQ. We'll have to wait and see. But as you said, they are having to stack around this Baron because it is pretty much at Secret's free will when they want to take it.
Yeah, we're seeing the Death Brush being set up. It's not really coming to fruition. They're just hanging out on this top side, but because of that, they've given free time to Gwen on the spot side, and Gwen shreds through these towers, so a free 600 gold for her. She's loving it right now.
Snip, snip, another tower and dip. It's just been Hero's way today. It's just pretty effective. You know, Gragas can't match in the 1v1, quite far behind, plus Champion just doesn't do too well into Gwen. And they've not really sent too much help towards the Gragas either. Obviously, there was that early gank from DMK, but since then, kind of just been on an island.
And now it's just move to the top side, take the Baron. If nothing else, look for the Force. Everyone's teleported in. Artifact's a little bit out, but it's a LeBlanc, so she can just get away.
And they're just doing this Baron. Will they get the steal? They do not. It's secure from Secret. Now they're looking for this fight. Emperor is in the front line, getting snipped apart, but it's going to be able to stay alive for now. DNK able to get a bit of damage onto the side as well, but Hero trying to charge forward here. They're slowly but surely corralling them into this base, but will they be able to pull the trigger? Jinx almost picking up the kill onto Emperor, but it will not be just yet. Both teams just waiting out. The very lowest artifact around the corner. DNK just about going to dodge that binding, but there's the first kill, and it's going to be another 1-for-1 so far in this team fight. Will they start running this one through? 2T is in trouble as they're going to be charging him down. That's going to be 2 more. Aphelios has dropped as well. Yumi will fall. DNK, the last hope, is not going to be able to 1v3. More kills and ace over to the side of Team Secret.
And it's a quadra kill for Artifact. Not able to pick up the Penta. Eddie grabbed the first, but it was as well fought from SBTC as about you could hope from that position, just on the wrong side of the map, completely corralled, and it was a bit of heroics from Secret Agent Celebrity to get a drop on the Eddie and blow them up, but so it's a bit of gold back, I suppose, in terms of getting big shutdowns and that, but it's Baron on at least the solo laners from Team Secret. And yeah, this is a very long, messy fight, and it takes a long time for someone to die. But you see here, SBTC corralled to the wrong side of the map. They have nowhere to go. They have to fight, and it just takes a while. Eventually, it goes in and dies. Then Eddie manages to pick up Enper, get a reset. Where is it? There we are. That's the reset.
Yeah.
Here we go. Celebrity and Palette in the bush. Being sneaky, they get completely ignored, and they're able to pop out and just shred through Eddie. They have to overcommit and get popped by Artifact in return, but it's all good. Artifact gets his quadra. He's feeling happy. He's feeling like he's saying last split was an anomaly. I'm back.
Indeed, definitely looking to make a point. And also, the fact that they now have Artifact picking up these kills as well just makes this game even more dangerous for SBTC, because now you got to think about Eddie, you got to think about Artifact Hero as well, putting in absolute work in these team fights, even though not necessarily getting the kills. It is just a triple-pronged threat, and that is just not the situation that your team comp was ready to deal with. Obviously, Fedos and Graves, the main two carries, just not able to keep ahead, but maybe they get a mid-tower here.
Yeah, Team Secret moving to try and compress these side lanes, make the most out of their very split-up Baron. Hero on the side.
Here on side, they're going for the engage. The NK going pretty low with the rocket. Not going to finish off the kill. But they are going to keep chasing Celebrity with the Yuumi. Able to have enough speed, and 2T as well just about makes it out alive. So no kills secured. But maybe they can start using this to pressure onto the tower. Baron buff has already worn off though. So it is going to be normal minions.
They should be able to do a fair amount of damage to the tower thanks to this Jinx. And they're actually just going to be able to muscle down this mid lane inhibitor very effectively. That should give them enough to back off and reset comfortably for this this Elder Drake rather. But Enper, he's looking forward, maybe trying to catch a straggler. Artifact on the side.
They're looking for something. Drake coming up in 34 as well. So right now, Secret doesn't have to fight. They have the controlling position. However, SBTC do need to keep that in their minds, although they might not even get the time to think about it as the fight does begin. The NK getting taken pretty low here. There's the Jinx getting the first kill. Now getting excited. Will they be able to find more? Final chapter is going to slow the advance from Team Secret, but it does not matter. Onto the Nexus towers they go. 2T on the side getting taken pretty low, but will be able to get back to the fountain as they do knock Hero in there as well. They will take 1-for-1, but can they defend the Nexus? It is over. Penguin going to knock them away. They go straight for the charge, but they're going to end the game before we get the full team fight. Team Secret coming out on top.